Alright, I think we're live now after some issues getting up and running. Anyways, this is Weird Cuz from the Online Gamer Network, here tonight with another OGN Game Night. This evening I have Zenforth joining me.
Hey, what's up?
And we usually try to get together every Friday evening, supposedly at 6 p.m. Central. We're running a little late, because like I said, we had some issues setting up the stream. Still working on getting some hardware and software so we can just record our own and not have to rely on these services or these services apps on the consoles themselves. They just don't seem that well put together. Anyways, we try to get together every Friday and play some games either amongst ourselves or with members of the community. Tonight we chose to hop on Crackdown 3 just because it's new, it's out. We wanted to jump in and check it out, so let's get that going here and see what this is all about. Haven't been hearing good things on the internet today. I was a fan of the original, you know. It was never the best game, but I found it enjoyable to run around with a friend and destroy some stuff, jump around, collect some orbs. You know, it was fun for what it was worth. What about you, Zenforth? You had any experience with this game?
I had a lot of fun with Keys to the City and Crackdown 2, but like from what I've heard, a lot of Crackdown 2 features are lacking in this one, so I want to check it out and see how I like it.
Right.
It's free anyway, essentially. Game Pass is $1.
Right, we have Xbox Game Pass, so we're able to get access to it right away. What about, I just pressed A to invite you. Are you getting a pop-up in-game, or?
Yep, got it right away.
Just waiting for players. Yeah, I think we're actually in this time. Yeah, we've got to get on getting that Elgato hardware, or hopefully this weekend.
For sure. Now it's saying you're broadcasting again.
Oh yeah.
So it might be broken right now.
In a parallel universe.
It just popped up and said you're like another pop-up notification for your broadcasting on Switch.
It's still counting the time. I'll try and open the app on my phone just to see what it looked like. Alright. I don't know how much you played, but before we got started here, I played through maybe the first 15 minutes, kill one of the guys or something like that, and then it's like, okay, go do this, and I was like, alright, this will be a good time to stop until we start streaming later this evening.
Yeah, I killed a guy and liberated like 2 bases. Like some agility orbs.
Okay.
So, still not that far.
Did you kill that first guy at all, or?
Yeah, the teleporting guy.
Okay. Yep, same then. So, we respawn at these different supply points we've captured, if I remember right.
Yep.
I think I see your cursor there, so I'm going to spawn there.
The climbing, and this always reminds me of like Infamous or something. Makes me miss those games.
Yeah, that was probably more in depth though, huh?
Yeah.
This is more just mantling for the most part, or...
Yeah.
Wonder if I can adjust my brightness in-game, because I think I left it a little too dark.
Yeah, I'd turn mine all the way up just because it looked weird. I was on the subreddit too, a lot of people were just saying it's really dark on their like default settings or whatever.
Right. Well, I adjusted it how they said, like, hey, adjust it
me
so
too.
this logo's barely visible, but it was like,
Yeah,
it's
it's
like
too dark.
Dark game overall.
Yeah.
Alright, so where are we going so we can try and stay on track?
Any base you haven't liberated yet?
Know.
This is your save, I think.
Is there a run button? The tutorial?
Nope.
This area is the first landing spot for new hires.
But if
Once
you
the
just
Lebanon
spam
City-
roll, it's much faster
I
than
hear
walking.
Nova leadership used to even call it the orientation
Just
zone.
weird.
complete with a walking tour of nearby monorail stations, chem facilities, and of course, enforcer strongholds, just to keep everyone in line. Nice ride.
Playing these two always
And I'm
reminds
sure
me
the
of
owner doesn't
like
mind
whatever
the
happened to
agency
Saints Row.
borrowing it. I've scanned it to your inventory, so it's available anytime you need
Not
it.
even get
I
in.
think it
Just
got
hit a
too
vehicle
crazy
capture
and
pad around the city.
they crazy themselves out of a game. Got too crazy. Like, where do we go now?
I think what they did was I think they
can't get
toned
in?
it down and made it. Yeah, I can't get in. I think they toned it down and made it like more kid friendly with their Agents of Mayhem or something, and like nobody bought it. Ton of bugs.
And wasn't that a different game at that point?
No, it was in the Saints Row universe and everything. They had the Saints logos.
Yeah, but was it Saints Row, you know? Who makes their game LB, hold LB to get in the car? What are you doing?
Can you even get in?
Nope. Doesn't appear to be.
weird.
Appear that I can.
So like you can't drive with your friends. That's
Take charge of that nearby supply point, Agent. They'll keep you in ammo
Alright,
whenever
there's a
you
supply
run
point
dry.
here that they're yelling at me about. It's right
yeah,
here.
it's right here. I'm right by it. Oh, I thought you were talking about the liberating area. Supply point is just respawn guns in.
There, you gotta take them. Spawn guns and respawn
You're
yourself.
taking
man.
damage.
I might already have that one, but yeah, there's like a little base like right up the street. What difficulty here are you playing on?
I think the normal or default, like the second one. Like,
Yeah,
hey, you
I'm
know
on
how
the
to
third
play
one.
video games, press this one.
Yeah, I'm on like whatever the heroic
balance
is.
out, or
Nova
you're just
manages
playing
to keep
online,
a
I
lock-
would think. You're playing
Yeah, I
with
don't
me,
know.
most likely.
These robots still seem to be doing a decent amount of damage. I
Most
think I'm
have
still
settled
playing on
in
my
this life
difficulty. I
because-
think that's how it always was, right?
Well,
Like
they don't see a way out.
per person.
Not to get all
But I was
sappy.
thought it was
I
weird.
don't know.
You're the way out, Agent.
Said I just spawned a car. Oh, here it is. Got Superman here, and I'm trying to get in the grocery gooder.
You know, very weird that you can't get in teammates' cars. That seems like almost a like core feature of any open world with vehicles, doesn't it?
Yeah, you would think
Keep your eyes
so, but at
peeled
some
for a
point you're
stunt
probably
ring
not going to
around
be in
here.
cars very much in this game. Especially when they seem
Well,
to
I
handle
mean-
as crappy as they do so far.
Well, I mean, late game though,
This
like in
seems
the
like
second
kind of
one.
cheap and bad.
Yeah. Well, in the second one, there was like all kind of monster trucks and transforming things that you get in with your buddies. You go really fast. I drove in cars all the
I
time in
haven't played
part
much
2.
of part 2.
Like the monster truck kind of things and transforming cars were kind of a big part of it. Wonder if they even included those in this game.
I just remember in the original getting in the... It was like a transforming semi I would always drive.
You know.
Capture the monorail station, I guess, huh?
Yep. I just want to see how much damage are you taking from these guys.
I don't know. They're shooting at me. Not like that or anything. Yet.
But do you have to like evade when they're shooting at you?
Not yet.
Yeah, I think I'm probably playing on higher difficulty than you.
Crispy fried
Maybe.
They're doing a lot of damage to me.
I keep pressing X to try to do stuff, and I think I'm just throwing my guns on the ground.
Watch your back.
Yeah, I think keep picking up their guns.
Greetings, agency operative. A polite reminder that your current course of action is in flagrant violation of Terra Nova law.
I wondered when Roxy would come out to play. The monorail network on New Providence is run by Roxy, a friendly customer service AI, corrupted by Terra Nova. Every monorail station we take forces Roxy to adjust operations nearby, putting more of their network in our sights.
So the more stations you capture, the closer we get to finding and offlining Roxy.
Alright. Capture monorail stations. Which one are we nearest? Center on us here.
I said waypoint, I don't know if you can see it.
Is it the big red marker?
It's the big train marker, like the 700 meters away.
Yeah, I see the train marker, but I'm saying which one did you have marked? The one with the red?
The one closest to us. Well, let me see.
Okay.
You know how to open up the map.
And
Yeah, I
just
think
like
I'm on
that,
the way to the
now
same
you
one. I'm
can
just going the
store more
same general
gadgets and
direction as you,
explosive
so
ammo.
we'll
Yeah.
get there. Yeah, I got a new skill, I missed that.
Kinda sad they took out the wingsuit, so we'd be thinking about like the whole time playing this, gliding off buildings.
Was there supposed to be a wingsuit?
In part 2 there was. It was like the end game kind of thing. You get like a big old helmet, bunch of armor, and a wingsuit.
Oh crap. Scale the building just to fall down the other side.
How do you like Nova's promised land, Agent? Tenement housing, mandatory employment, food of questionable origin. Okay. I see you're near one of Nova's chemical sites, part of the toxic industrial
Come on,
network.
get up there.
It needs to go. No bones about it.
You just charging in?
There's a chemical center, so I write to it and tell me to do it. So you just gotta throw rocks in this hole to break so there's enemies around.
This machine pistol is all about filling the air with lead at close range.
This is the
Lock
thing
up
you're
those
talking about?
harvesters.
Yep, just
Jam
pick
them
up rocks
good.
and throw them in. Acid or whatever. And it'll break the harvester. Alright, I broke one.
I fell on my acid.
Watch the enemy fire.
It's totally disregarded.
Yep,
Got a cool machine pistol just now.
I got a rock. Just like the other Breath of the Wild. My best weapon right now seems to be a rock.
The field's valve is good to go. Take it out.
You know what this game is rated?
I saw a bunch of like middle of the road type of reviews earlier.
No, like ESW.
Oh,
It's like fairly cartoony, but they swear a lot.
The agency
Whatever
has
that
come
lies.
to destroy us. Welcome them with chemical death.
Say hello to Nova's chemical chief, an
Maybe
arrogant
mature.
blowhard named Jaimin Keita.
isn't that a thing? I haven't paid attention to those in so long. I don't even know what they are anymore.
I think it's like mature teens, still E10, stuff like that, and E.
Right. Probably mature.
Keita's a genius. Just ask him. An expert in chemical refinement and manipulation.
He's also the ultimate gross polluter, poisoning the world to feed Nova's top-secret Chimera experiments.
The infrastructure Keita set up is intricate.
It
So
seems
each
like a lot of
campsite you
games these
destroy
days are
should
getting
put
like
more strain on
scrapped and
others
remade
nearby.
halfway through
The more
development
sites
and
you
then
shut down,
delayed.
The
They come
closer
on,
we
they're
get
kind
to
of odd.
flushing out Jaimin Keita
Happened in
and
Destiny,
ending
Destiny
the
2,
chemical
Halo
flow.
5, Crackdown 3, Scalebound got totally cancelled.
Yeah, it's probably something that's always happened with games. I don't know what's up lately, or like I said, I haven't passed judgment on this game yet, but you know, I'm sure it's not always easy making video games and having it all come together, you know, hitting that magic sweet spot at some point. Where are you at on the map now? I don't see you anymore.
Right next to you.
Oh, okay. I didn't see us. So we finished that objective?
Mm-hmm. Well, it wasn't the train objective. That's over
Yeah,
here.
the train's over there.
I'm gonna get an angle on them. Go, go, go!
Okay, I see your cursor now, and my cursor. So I can tell what we both have waypointed. Moving towards it, 150 meters away.
Yeah, I'm here.
Don't see many refugees at that monorail station, but we should still shut it down just in case. See if you can draw out the AI station master.
Yeah. Then put the robotic bastard down.
Like, mesh-like robot popped up.
It's probably
Got
throwing
shot down
boxes.
almost immediately.
Oh yeah. Well, that's the boss. Yeah. Once we go in the zone.
Let's make that happen, man. Don't look too difficult.
Nice. Moonshine distribution is shut off at the source. We're one step closer to saving the locals.
From one of the brief reviews that I skimmed through, they said this game seems like really easy too. I wonder like what difficulty that reviewer played on.
Yeah, I think I read something similar. They said on like regardless of what difficulty they put it on, it never presented much of a challenge. It makes you wonder what were they doing for 5 years or whatever.
Yeah.
Full speed. I don't know what weapons I want to try to use. I don't like this lightning gun.
That
I wonder if it got
Portuguese is
scrapped for a while
fierce.
behind the scenes,
Let her
like just
rip
totally like
and
they just
cut
stopped
through the
working on it completely, like
competition.
Scalebound, but then like picked it back up recently.
Right.
Scalebound just got like totally just they said we're not doing that anymore.
Yeah.
That's what happened to Sleeping Dogs, and it turned out to be really good. Like some other company scrapped it and said we're not working on this anymore, and like 3 years later, Square Enix picked it up, polished it, redid the graphics, and it came out. It's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's some like jet took me way into the air.
I think it's weird that this game doesn't have like character creation though.
Oh, there we go.
Kind of like pick a guy kind of thing.
I mean,
Just little
games
things that they
do
could have
that,
done.
right? But there was never that. It was picking an agent, you know? But yeah, it'd be neat if you could create your own agent. I'm always up for trying to make my Disney avatar version of myself in these games.
Yeah.
At the same time, like, not every game needs that. It's not like I'm gonna miss it right now.
Skills for kills, Agent. However you choose to eliminate a
I'm saying
threat,
little key
you'll
elements that
improve
could have
in
made
that
this a
area.
little bit more interesting.
Skills for kills. Remember that.
Like something new, you know, not just a remaster.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like I said, whatever they could do to make it good. I just don't know if I think it's bad yet or anything's wrong with it. Just gonna play it and kind of see.
Yeah.
It seems
They're like
seems like what I
flagship things
remember,
to
just kind of
destruction.
messing around again. Just
Yeah.
messing around. I see this orb. I'm gonna try and get it. Can't quite get up there. I need to find something else to jump off of.
I wonder what the developers themselves' thoughts are on this game. Like how they expected it to do, or the receival of it.
I've got to say,
Yeah,
the more I
it's
play
one of
with
those
your
things
crime
what
map,
I guess you
the
never
more I
know
like
unless
it.
they do a
It isn't just a fancy view of the
documentary
world.
at some point
It lets
and
us track
talk
enemy
about
assets,
how
kinetic
everything
targets,
went
and
exactly
anything
how
we
they
can use to
hoped,
weaken
or
them.
everything fell
It's
apart
one
because
hell of a
of
handy
this, that, or
tool.
the other. Ah, you made it. I was just
Yep.
trying to do that one too. Got it. Alright, where was our objective again? Killed it, no?
Yeah, we
I
did.
forget. Chit chat and forgetting what we already did. So let me look at the map and let's find something else to do.
What button is that? The left? Yeah, it is.
Select.
There's some prisoners to release right there. I marked it.
Alright. Sounds good.
I don't know why. I was just hoping for this to be more than just Crackdown. When I first seen it at like the first E3 and how they advertised it.
Just because the day is done doesn't mean our work is.
Yeah, or at least
Time
a
for the night shift, agent.
way more updated, cool version of it, you know? So it
Yeah, and
looks-
like with some of the
looks
key
neat
features,
enough,
like
I mean,
it's missing a lot of like key things from Crackdown. Like I wonder if Keys to the City is even a game mode.
or that was something that came down the road anyways. It wasn't out like day and date when the game first launched. It was like DLC later to try and get you back into it.
Yeah, but that's like DLC of like a 2008 higher standards now, you know, for a $60 game.
Right, but when video games come out, no video game is like, oh, we're fully featured with everything you want. They gotta have some stuff to string you along. Every video game does that. So it's not
Yeah,
like
no,
a
but
knock
this game
against
has,
this if
like,
it doesn't have
Budget though,
everything
you know?
in it right now.
Some of it should though.
Yeah.
Like key features
As
should
your
be there.
strength increases, you'll be able to
Well,
lift heavier
all we can
objects.
say
Like, what were they
that we
working on?
know
5
is
years?
that the game
and
was in
dish out
development for a
punishment
long
through
time,
new,
right? And
more
obviously
powerful
something,
attacks.
you know, was up that it took that long to begin with. So, yeah, there's probably something to be said for, you know, your point that it could have more stuff, but we can say that about any video game. Like, yeah, it is what it is. Let's play it and see, and debate based on how
Once
popular
you
it
clear out the guards,
is or
drop the
remains to
force
be,
field to
or
free
if
the
it just
militia
flops, they'll make more stuff for it, you know?
Yeah, I'm just glad it's on Game Pass, cause like, I think that's why it's getting a lot of hate too, is cause like some of the reviewers are reviewing it as a $60 game, not a Game Pass game.
Well, because it is. Just because it's on Game Pass, you gotta think the mass majority of people probably don't have Game Pass, you know?
Yeah, and they're just buying
Ours
it.
or your perspective is you have it. Like, this is a game that people are probably buying, and there's people that have been looking forward to it for a long time. Like, in a way, it has nothing to do with Game Pass. Like, we have access to it because, yeah, it's on Game Pass, but for most people, this is just a game that just came out, you know?
Yeah, and that's why I think it's receiving the
I'm
hate
getting
that
a
it's
bunch of
getting.
orbs.
It's
I'll
60.
be damned. You found one of our lost agents. At least the remains. Luckily, with their DNA, we can regenerate them.
I found an agent orb or
Well,
something.
hello, Agent
Unlocked a new
Marshall.
character, I guess.
This guy is a special blend
Coming
of
up there.
deadly ingredients.
Up on top of this
firearms,
building here, yep.
fists, and a whole lot of fury.
I just unlocked the air dash.
What's a double jump? Oh,
No,
I don't
dash
have
forward.
that yet. Yeah, I see it. Alright, where was our cursor on again?
Some kind of jail thing. I don't remember where it was. Not even here anymore. I think we walked past it.
Is
Yeah.
it?
It's right under
Yeah, I
us.
just remarked it then.
From what I could see of like the hardcore
Take out
fans
the-
on the
Oh,
Reddit.
agent down.
He
Good
died?
job, Agent. The militia won't
Yeah,
forget how
fall
you helped
damage.
them out here.
Oh. But yeah, what I could see from the hardcore fans on the subreddit, they're like, a lot of people are playing this are, like, the hardcore fans are satisfied though. Some of them.
Yeah, and that's why, you know, I don't want to be dismissive because it's just a conversation, we're talking about it, but a lot of time I don't buy into that. I'd rather just get on it and play it, you know. Like, I skimmed or I saw some of the headlines or whatever, but I don't feed into it too much because people all have their own opinions. Like, even games that I've loved throughout my gaming life, like there's a certain cross section that hates him, and you know, we already know with the internet, a lot of times it can just be a vocal minority, you know. But you know, as
I just like to pay attention
cliche
more.
as it sounds, like I said, the people that are playing it, the people that are enjoying it are playing it, not on the internet complaining about it.
Yeah, I just want to know what the percentage is, because like I can see if it's a cheaper game to like just go and try it, but trying it for $60 is kind of a bit much. After 5 years, like I'd be expecting a little more.
Though.
Yeah, but it shouldn't be like that though. It's kind of almost stealing from the consumer, or like ripping them off in a way.
Come on, Jack.
I think.
I mean, in an ideal world, but like I said, tell me what game does otherwise. That's how when video games come out, they cost a price, and you have to have done your research on your end, and you know, try not to make bad purchases, and that's why they do have reviews and rental services, and you know, you have to make an informed decision as a consumer too. They're not here to like be your buddy and hand feed you everything, you know. You have to figure it out, some of it, and you know, like it is what it is at the end of the day. They're a company trying to make money off of selling something.
I think if
yeah,
people
it's
don't
on them.
know,
If they make a terrible game and like somehow sneak it on you, but how can they do that? Like, it's out at the store. You have to choose to buy it or not. It's not like they paid a reviewer and news outlets to say, oh, 10 stars across the board, and then you get it and find out it's garbage. This is a game that just came out like within hours, and like I said, we saw where the reviews were already going in on it, but I don't think they tricked anybody by any means. Like, games come out, and they are what we make of them, or we find out after the fact that, yeah, this game is good or this game is bad. Or, hey, I love it, but the community in general hates it, you know? Plenty of people that I know and have talked to that, and even myself, played Fallout 76, and it was like, oh, yeah, this is fine, you know? Did I think it was the best game I ever played? No. These guys are tagging me now with some kind of acid gun. I didn't think it was the best game by any means, but for all the stuff I read online, I'm like, whatever, man. These people are crazy at some point, or maybe I'm just not informed enough, didn't play enough. But like I said, I put a few hours in them first like couple days or that first weekend. I was just like, yeah, this is what I expected to be doing, playing Fallout online with my buddies. You know, if you read every forum post, you would think that it was it was on fire and you might die if you play it.
Yeah. I just think the more feedback we give, though, the better some of these games will get. That's all that came from Halo's, like, terrible feedback, like people saying Halo 5 was so terrible. It took, like, a lot of things people said.
Speak with your wallet. Revolt with your wallet, you know? Don't pre-order every single game just because you're excited because you think the box art looks cool, you know? Do some research, figure out what it is. Don't be just buying games blindly, for sure.
Yeah.
You only got yourself to blame at the end of the day, unless, like I said, there was actually something crooked done some way.
Well, I mean, though, do you think this, like, would you buy this for $60, though?
I haven't formed that opinion yet. I played it for 28 minutes, you know? Plus. Like I said, I usually view things different than, you know, people where I'm not as quick to make a conclusion. I'll sit here and play for a couple hours and figure out, you know.
Yeah, I played for like an hour or two
You've got
before
active
you got on
enforcers
as
in your
well.
vicinity on direct orders from their HQ.
It just doesn't
If you hit
seem
their
like,
units
to me,
and
it
bring
doesn't
enough
seem
pain,
worth 60
you will
for
force
like
their hand. And then
how far
we can
gaming has
cut it
come
right
since
off.
the last time they released something like this. I feel like they're like almost preying on people's nostalgia for sales, you know? Which I mean is every company, of course, like they're trying to get money, but I just don't know how I feel about it.
Well, as I said, that's why I would just play it for a minute and see, you know. That I'll tell you, like, you know, just my initial impression, like, yeah, it doesn't seem like some groundbreaking new thing, but it feels enough like what I remember playing that I don't mind right now. Everything seems okay. Like, the shooting was always this lock-on mechanic. It always felt cheap, but I ran around and collected ores with my friends. I don't know what else to say about that, you know? It is what it is. If people were expecting something to be so revolutionary, then you just build up your own expectations to get let down. I'm not saying we shouldn't expect or want more, but like at some point, whose fault is it, you know? It's a video game, these dudes made it and put it out. Now we have to decide as the community or fans or the individuals if you like it or not. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
Like we've said multiple times over at this point, there's people that are probably going to hate it. There's probably people that are loving it right now, going nuts with their buddy, jumping around town, and
I wonder what the
I'm
sales are
enjoying
like.
it at the moment. It's kind of mindless. I'm just running around, you know. This like literally reminds me of the whole game. Like I'm fine right now as far as my expectation levels, because I don't expect most games to be some groundbreaking thing until I get my hands on it and see like, holy crap, this is cool. Can't judge it by like, you know, they've been telling us our whole life.
I'm judging it by like the
cover.
advertising though, like what they made it out to be.
They're gonna tell you everything. They're gonna tell
Listen
you
up,
what's
Agent. As
What
you
they've
climb
shown
us,
Terra
like,
Nova's
it's
got
corporate
downgraded
ladder to
kinda
cut 'em off at the head.
for story
Keep
reasons.
in
So
mind, you've been
they said, like,
bioengineered to jump
everything is gonna be
higher,
destructible
move
or whatever,
faster,
but
and conquer any
I
obstacle.
don't think the story's connected
Just
to the
need
cloud,
to
so it
keep
can't do
upping
some of that
your
stuff anyway.
agility.
or do you just gotta level up first, and no one's all the way leveled up, and
No, I think the developers announced it themselves that like some of that destructibility is only going to be available in wrecking mode or something. Recently they said that.
Officer down.
I mean, yeah, there can be misrepresentations, I guess. You know? Yeah. It happens with every game. I'm not surprised by any.
Oh
of
yeah,
it.
Halo's was much worse. Like they advertised a whole different campaign from what happened. They were like advertising Chief dying and walking through a desert and this crazy battle between him and this other dude. When really it was just like a 15-second cutscene. One of them punches the other one, and then they're like friends.
I'm rating you low on ammo, Agent.
It's like they advertised it as like the biggest battle of all of Halo history, and it's weird.
Yeah, we keep talking about marketing, though. It's just they're trying to sucker you in and get you excited to do this, you know.
Yeah, I
They
think
bend the
some companies
truth a
should
little
be
bit
held accountable
sometimes.
for
Or
that.
Heal up, Agent. That's an order.
Some countries are cracking down on
Just
stuff
gotta
like that, though, like loot
gotta
boxes.
not pre-order and buy everything.
Yeah,
That's different. There's like gambling and stuff.
When a
but
fellow agent is injured in the field,
I finally got
get
killed
over there and
once.
lend a helping hand. You can
yeah, I died when I got
revive and
stuck
get 'em
somewhere
back in the
earlier.
fight.
Most of the time, well.
just got
Got
caught off
stuck in
guard
the
by a
Interstate somewhere.
grenade.
Yeah, I seen some guy accidentally throw a grenade at his feet and just explode into a pool of blood. I think it's definitely mature rated. This reminds me of Sunset Overdrive Part 1 though, like, wonder when they're gonna make their next game, if they will. Insomniac.
Damn.
Yeah.
Cause like, who knows if Sony just has them working on the next Spider-Man instead. Cause that did much
Pick a
better
supply
than Sunset
point
Overdrive.
and get back in the game.
Yeah. It's like an IP they tried, and I mean, I never really cared for it, but I know some people liked it.
Yeah, it had like the same Crackdown-esque feeling, but with like better movement.
So are we working on the
Free
Red Skull
Pokemon
thing,
movie.
or what? Is there a point to where are we going now? Just trying to
Right
keep us
here.
on track
We're
going
standing.
forward.
We're staying in a base right now. I'm like fighting in a base right next to you.
Can't get out of the map now. Oh, I have to select a respawn point. Duh. Ah, there was one nearby us that we didn't cap yet.
Yep.
I mean, video games, some of the stuff we've been talking about has been going on, you know. Was an infamous one like E.T. Like E.T. was such a big property at some point, you know. This game came out for Atari and was just like utter trash and broken, and they literally like took it and buried it in the landfill, you know, thousands of copies or something like that. Major Nelson and some people from Xbox like were part of a team or on the scene when they were dug up like in the last few years. But yeah, it was just this huge thing, and it's went down in history as being like, yeah, ain't always what it's cracked up to be, and they will try to sell you a video game.
Yeah,
They need
I'm
to
just
recoup
grateful
some
for
of that
those.
money they were making on it.
Yeah, I'm grateful for those indie developers that make like great games like Dishwasher, Castle Crashers, stuff like that, and sell it for like 20 bucks. People should really give props to those guys. I feel like they aren't recognized enough sometimes. Like Salt and Sanctuary, from what I've heard, is like really great, cheaper, coming to Switch, and it's just not recognized as much because it doesn't have like the big marketing. Shows how big marketing plays into something, no matter how good it can be sometimes.
Well, again, like I said, it just comes down to people voting with their dollars, and if we all complain about these certain things, but then buy the game and play it for, you know, X amount of hours, nothing's gonna change.
Yeah.
People will say, "Oh, I hate this publisher, developer, and this and that," and the second they announce the game, they're like, "Oh, I got a pre-order. It looks crazy. You give it a shot." And then they're like, wonder why the cycle continues on and being disappointed with a subpar title or whatever.
Agent.
Yeah, that's why I didn't
Units are active in
pre-order
this area.
Jump Force.
Their heavy armor
Because
made to
Bandai
deter
made
local
like 4
resistance.
great Naruto
But they
Storm
weren't built
games.
to
They were
handle
all
an
good. I got them
agent's
all
skills.
4 of them and played them quite a bit. But then like
Yeah, I don't know,
Shinobi Striker comes out, which is like a online like 4v4 fighting game, and that was pretty bad. It didn't have much content, a lot of like reskins and stuff. But then Jump Force looks great now, and that's out. It's by the same company, not even a year later.
Yeah, I don't
Like they're just pumping
honestly
stuff out
understand
and
why
hoping for the best.
anyone would pre-order anything at this point. You used to pre-order back in my day. We pre-ordered because you would go up to GameStop
That's
and they
one
might
more
not have
fun.
enough copies that first night. They only had pre-orders available. Walk-in copies were few and far between, or you had to get lucky. Now it's all digital. There's literally no reason to pre-order a game unless you're trying to get that piece of content.
Well, you can play early too
That
as
they're
well, though, sometimes.
bundling
Sometimes. I've thought about that with a few games, just playing early, a few days.
Right, and that's where you have to choose to opt in or not. And as long as
Yeah.
people keep doing it, you know, and boosting up their numbers with it, they're gonna keep doing the things we're talking about.
You know,
After my trip through the sorting process, I remember
and there's
that
enough
asshole
people who
Bird
don't watch
trying to
YouTube
tell me
and,
New Providence
like,
is the ultimate company
on a
town.
daily
Right,
basis
there's
to
a
keep up with
whole
gaming
business
news
and
that don't
economy
care.
and-
Yeah.
See all the Terra Nova branding in the
Whole
world?
thing beyond this,
They
you know.
supply, operate,
You
and
might
own every
be
business
one of the
on this
more
island. All money starts and stops with
like a
those
core
greedy
gamer,
SOBs.
and you
Capitalism,
might listen to
active
podcasts
market.
and follow certain streamers and influencers. Guess what? You're in the minority probably as far as the general population of gamers. Most people
Yep.
are just like, oh, I got home from work, Crackdown's out, dope. I'm gonna grab that, play it, and go home and have fun playing it and not be so cynical and jaded about everything and just like, yeah, this is exactly what I remember in it, but it looks cool now, you know? Some dude's loving it right now.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you know, sometimes
I'd like
we as
for that
gamers,
dude
you
loving
get a
it
little,
though, like
you get a little too close to stuff too, you know, and it just makes everything like, oh, I've heard
Yeah,
it
but
plenty
for
of
that
times
same
where I'm
dude-
like, we're playing some of the best games we've ever played in our lives, and all people do is find reasons to complain about
The
them.
matter duplicator.
like some of them are
allows you
just
to
underdeveloped
clone
like
any
this. So like
object
for
you're
that same
currently
dude that's
holding.
probably loving this right now,
Think of the trouble
think
you
of how
can
much
cause
more he
with
could be
that.
loving if it just had some core features that it should have.
Yeah, I mean, that would be a whole nother
Like, you literally
conversation
can't
for
get
another time.
in
Or what, are
cars
you,
together.
or what are you expecting, you know? Maybe
To
that
be
was
able to
just
get
that
in a
car, I
car
don't
with you.
know.
No, I tried it with the other
that
car
was
too.
the vehicle.
Maybe it's only agent vehicles. Who knows?
Right, that's what I'm saying. We've only played the game 39 minutes, so maybe that's a possibility. If not, it would seem like a weird oversight, that's for sure. I'm not going to discount that, but at the same time, once I get certain powered up, like, I don't remember getting in cars really in the old games.
You didn't play 2 as much, so either. Like, it was I remember it being a very big thing I did.
I thought 2 got knocked for being like kind of a terrible game. I remember renting it. Can't remember much about it besides that it had zombies and I just wasn't feeling it at some point. And there was a lot of sentiment around it. It
Agility
just wasn't
orbs can be
good.
tricky to reach.
Yeah, it feels like
Back
number 1,
after
but
I
like
rented it and never played it
the same reason
again.
people complain about this. It's like literally, it's like the same thing as 1, but with like maybe a few added things. That's why people probably hated on it. Crackdown 2 feels like Crackdown 1 to me.
Yeah, it does. Like I said, it feels familiar. Is that a bad thing? I don't think so yet, you know. Maybe it doesn't feel like what we're used to with some modern game or a top-notch AAA, you know, tier title.
Oh yeah, another thing I noticed too is this is like partly developed by Sumo Digital. Those are like the same guys that were known for like apparently ruining Little Big Planet.
You see the sun going down over New Providence, Agent.
Yeah, because
So
they don't
does every
really, from what I've heard, they don't
civilian
really
in that
specialize
city.
in developing
Hoping
games. They're more
tomorrow
like
brings the end
they
of
got popular because they were
Terra
good
Nova.
at porting games.
I say, why wait?
Yeah,
And, like,
there's
reusing
studios that
code.
do that. Alright, that was 4J Studios with Minecraft, porting games over. Maybe they just picked the wrong guys to do that this time around. But like I said, that's if you're saying the game is terrible right away. I don't think the game's terrible yet. I think it feels like a revisitation of the original game, and you know, maybe it doesn't have some crazy modern touch on it, but I don't know. I don't remember any time in their marketing them saying anything beyond the destruction stuff that I'm super like mad about all of a sudden.
I think it's just missing some key Crackdown 2 stuff that it just should have had.
No
Like I said,
upgrade,
I
Agent.
don't have that
Get your
point of
air
reference,
dash to
'cause
rock
It's like
I don't
Halo, like
remember.
how I was missing Big
Because
Team Battle
heroes
when it
waste
launched. Like,
time
what?
walking.
Big Team Battle?
Yeah, like a core thing you think would just be there. I get that, but
Like, for my money, it should be. Like, I didn't buy this game, but for the people who did buy this game, I feel like they're kind of getting cheated out to some extent. Because they don't look into, like, reviews and stuff, because they're just the average general consumer. They read the back of the box and they grab it and they're like, oh, okay.
there's more people doing that than you think.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like those people are kind of getting ripped off a little bit for what they could be getting. I just wonder how much effort went into this.
Agent, if you want to improve
I wonder
your
if, like, in their
driving
heads they were
skill,
thinking a money
compete in
grab
road
or
races. Hit a few stunt
actually
rings,
wanted to revamp
nail some
Crackdown.
crazy maneuvers.
Wonder what they
You'll be
felt.
rocking and rolling behind the wheel in no time.
I mean, I'm sure there's good intentions. I don't think anyone's going into the meeting room just being like, you know, screw these people. We're just gonna. I think they wanted to make this game that they felt like was a certain amount of audience behind it, and they could bring out this title and do it again. And so maybe it just didn't work out according to some people's plans or ideals. I don't know. Who knows? I'm just the person playing it at the end of the day. And video games are probably harder to make than we think. Some people are better at it than others. I'm trying to switch my invert here. The vehicle
Yeah,
invert is not on.
I just seen something like on Monkey's Paw. I was like, you know what that is, right? On Reddit.
Yeah, we've talked about it before, I think. Or it's
People
more
were-
than just Reddit, it's just like a concept in
Yeah.
general.
Well, Monkey's Paw is like an unlucky concept, like the opposite
The
of
key to
rabbit's foot.
taking out a
But the
vehicle
subreddit
lockup,
is just like,
destroying their
uh,
vehicles. Drop
by
any
how you word
defenses
your
and
wish,
leave
what's
their
the worst thing
rides
that
a
can happen?
smoking wreck.
But just an interesting wish that I did see on there. You gotta like try and come up with the best wish with like no repercussions. Like somebody said that games should be priced on like how much they cost to make and their quality.
Yeah.
But then like the repercussion would be that like some great indie games would be $60. That's what somebody wrote back.
Right. And that's up to the developer. The developer's probably doing a certain amount of that. They have to decide how much money they put in and what price point and value, and you know, so we put out this really small game for $60, probably people aren't gonna want to buy it. Put out
Yeah,
some
I'm just
really
talking about
janky
like
game
a
for
bigger,
$60.
bigger
The
game,
blackout
so like
zones
Castle
have created
Crashers
more
that
nighttime
could be
in the
like
world.
easily worth 60
We need to light it
for the amount of
back up.
content they had and levels, story.
Mm-hmm.
Like Castle Crashers could have easily been $60, and I think people would have still like loved it.
Maybe.
It just had enough replayability. Hack and slash, a lot of levels, a lot of characters unlocked, a lot of secrets.
We gotta keep doing something. I think we're getting a little sidetracked here. Yeah.
There is a base there, I think.
I had just marked something. We just arrived at it. It's like a prison thing
So-
again. Little prison
Yeah, it's
town.
free to people. I think these are the more minor things that are easier.
Nice.
Yep, just let 'em out.
Hardpoint shut down,
Yep.
and the militia members are free.
Yeah, who's to say? The video games come out, I play them or I don't play them based on how good they seem.
It's just weird that like so many people aren't aware that they're not getting the bang for their buck in some cases. I think it's the same with the Call of Duty fan base. They're not getting the bang for their buck.
You know the
Like
deal,
Treyarch
Agent.
and them have enough
Drop the
funding
force
that they could
field
do a lot
and
of
blow
things.
the enforcer vehicle sky high.
From what I've heard, like the main COD fan base is kind of unhappy, but they buy it anyway. So that's like Treyarch keeps doing it how they're doing it. Like how you said, vote with your dollar, but not many people seem to be doing that.
Right, at the end of the day, people are just looking for something to do, you know? At the end of their work or school day, and they have these certain franchises that they look forward to playing with, and some of them don't care about any of the stuff that we're talking about. They're just like, yeah, that game's out, awesome.
Yeah, but maybe
of
some of that
Duty?
comes from not being
Cool.
aware as well, though. But they could be
Just
getting
don't
more.
care. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
I'm sure they would. They sure they would care.
That's
if
all
they
from
knew they could get
that's
more.
all
though.
from the perspective. That's all from the perspective of a poor gamer again. Like I said,
I know, but I'm saying like it seems like people are unaware. Like they're not being
Don't
sold
know
what
if
they
you've
could be.
noticed, but Nova really
which
likes
hey,
I
this
don't
their
person over
understand,
here
and I
is
keep
getting
saying
more.
that they don't care.
Strong,
I know people
secure.
that like, oh, I play zombies.
That's it.
Like, that's awesome.
They don't
dude.
care because they don't know
I
what's
bought a
wrong,
PS4. I bought a PS4 if I can play zombies. Nothing's wrong. That's what I'm trying to say. Nothing's wrong.
though. I think
They're
it's
playing
wrong.
it and loving it. You're looking at it from a poor gamer perspective. Not the majority of the people doing this stuff probably aren't thinking anything about any of the conversation that we're having. That's what
That
I'm
doesn't
trying
mean
to
they
get across
shouldn't be
to you.
sold a better product though. After all these years.
That's when franchises eventually die at some point. You know, it's happened with games like Tony Hawk or any other number of franchises. After some point, you know, their sales drop, and these games can be numbers on a spreadsheet for shareholders, and once it's not making a certain amount of money for them anymore, they don't care, and they're not in the business to make you get the best value for your dollar. They're trying to sell you enough to make them enough money so that they can make money.
Yeah.
Casino's gonna give out some money for people to win to make it seem interesting. Are you climbing
Target
this
the
tall
enforcer
building?
vehicles,
I keep
Agent.
trying to climb it, but I keep hitting
Yeah, I climbed it.
certain points.
I gotta
where
go back
can't
down there. I already broke
progress.
the generators on top.
Good.
Just gotta
So
destroy
the
these
casino's
cars.
in business to make them money. They have to provide a minimum experience, and that's what a lot of these games are. Maybe it's always been like that. Maybe it's something with the newer
Alright.
games.
Operation
Like I said, it's
Payback
always
is
kind of
in
been
full
around,
swing.
though.
This is about control. Control!
I just think the more
We
attention
are
brought to it, the
losing
less
it.
it'll
The
happen.
agency threat is only part of the problem, sir. The locals rising up.
And at the same time,
the
you
counter-kick set to go.
think Microsoft
Only
went
question
into a
is,
game thinking like,
who
yeah,
likes
we're
the
just gonna
fuse?
do as little
And
as
who
possible.
gets
No, they
blood to
probably
Kingdom
tried to make the
fucking
most
come?
awesome game
If I
they
get
could,
my
and it
wish,
just
Who
didn't.
knows though? Like
For
EA,
one
like,
reason or another, the
doesn't-
project
doesn't
didn't come
predict
together.
Smithereens.
Only one way to make it happen.
And that's once again, like I
hitting those
said,
enforcer targets,
shareholders. You
Agent.
got the
Show
CEO, you
Terra
got
Nova
all these
the
other
meaning
factors
of
in,
real
and
justice.
you playing your video game is only one of the ticks on the list. You know,
Yeah, I just think
it is.
like from
is
my
a
perspective, I
business.
think so far the reviews are deserving.
Yeah,
so
maybe
far.
so. Maybe so.
I'm just glad it's
That
getting
is
the
up
reviews.
to-
it's
Every
getting
enforcer operation you
That's
bust
up to
up
each of
loosens
those
their
people.
grip on the
I
island.
don't know why we played it
Dismantle
then
enough
if you just knew it
low-level
was
troops,
trash, though.
You'll force their
No, I
top
didn't know it
dog
was trash. I was
lieutenant to
saying,
come
like,
out and
mediocre.
play. And that's when you drop her.
kind of like the review said. It's
Then
like
the
a
whole
mediocre.
enforcer brigade
Maybe
goes
I'll
What
try
I
it.
said,
bye-bye.
what I said before we even started playing, and you know, hey, Crackdown 1 was mediocre.
Yeah.
What I played of Crackdown 2 was mediocre. It's just a B tier game type of situation. And to expect anything more than that is just, it's on the individual then, you know, like, yeah, we should want more, and I get that argument as gamers, but at the end of the day, this always was a B tier, sandboxy, jump in, just kind of shoot around.
Yeah.
Nothing more, nothing less. I never saw, I played for hours, but I never was like, oh, this is the greatest game ever, I gotta tell everyone about it. Me and a friend would just sit for hours and goof around. Like we're doing now and chit chat. I marked this microphone thing. What is that though?
I do not know. But just looking at it from a general gaming perspective too, though. Like there's companies that are under fire for doing some of those things, like you mentioned, like doing the minimum to try and get the most. Like EA was
and they're
like
only,
been under heat
the only
for like
time
years
they're gonna,
now.
right? The only time they're gonna listen though is when it affects their bottom, you know, dollar.
Yep. Like Activision just
Or
laid off a
not,
bunch of people
or
because
not.
of that too.
They'll just take games and run them into the ground because it's just a certain mentality the corporations have, and just trying to make money. Like it is what it is, you know. And that's why we do, instead of worrying about what the AAA guy or whoever is doing with their game and EA or DICE screwing up Battlefront, you know, just for example. Like that's why you just go buy and play the games you do like and quit buying
Yep.
their stuff. Then you know. That's
It
literally
just
what
makes
it
you
is.
appreciate like certain developers more. Like
For sure,
Rockstar's
that's
a
why
weird
you have your-
example, just because like their online stuff's kind of wonky, but they make like great campaigns for like what they
There's
could
a
do.
lot of people who are just like think that's junk too, and I don't want to play it, and it's too slow.
Yeah,
like I
but
said,
the
so for
reviews
every-
though, the reviews show that it's doing great.
Yeah, I mean, in most cases, I guess I would definitely have experiences where I'm like, I love this game, but it's basically a joke to, like, I always bring up the Command and Conquer franchise when I think about that. Like, oh, I know it's not as good as the PC. It could be way better if I was playing with a mouse and keyboard, or this, that, or the other. Whatever problems the devs
stuttering
leveled
agent.
against it, but did me and my buddy, you know, play
Enjoy it. Yeah.
hundreds of hours of it? Yeah,
That's what I
we
felt
did.
about console Counter-Strike. Like, yeah, it could be as good as the PC version, but I still enjoyed what I got for my $20.
Yeah.
Like, have you seen Counter-Strike on console?
I mean, I've played Counter-Strike though. I have it.
Like CS:GO?
Right.
Yeah. Like,
That's
you should
like
see the
only
PC version
thing I
in
have on
comparison.
console.
Yeah. Like, this game hasn't had not a
Logistics
single
flipper
update.
flying in.
Something flying.
Be
No.
advised.
Yeah, like
Avoid
a drone thing.
the area. Activating basic station defense protocols. Thank you.
Jeez. Finally
Great.
causes some
They
damage.
called in the station master.
My shot
Now
on
we
it.
can take it out.
A friendly reminder. Aggression will be met with escalating force. Have a nice day.
Still
Okay.
robot kept
That's
shooting
the
it.
entire monorail
Yeah.
line captured.
You should
With
see
it,
like
a
the
little
crazy
rail-mounted
comparison
gun
of
support.
console versus PC Counter-Strike
Good
though in
work.
terms of like the
Knocking out
support.
Terra Nova's
Console hasn't
infrastructure
had
will
not
take the
a single
shackles off
update
neighborhoods
since
like
launch.
this.
PC's getting updated to this day.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I mean, that would probably speak to, that's probably where most of their copies are at. That's where their biggest fan base is. And that's
Valve is just kind of odd with their games too, though. In general, like they don't tend to make sequels that often. They like made some weird car game that wasn't well received because it like wasn't one of their flagship titles. They're just not really working on some of their stuff because they're making enough money off of Steam already.
Yeah, as I said, they shifted focus from like a service provider, you know, instead of a game developer oriented, you know.
Yep.
Why worry about making said game when you're making millions of dollars off of the service now? Have basically had or have the premier PC gaming service. Like that one little game doesn't even matter to them. Otherwise, they would have made it by now.
Yeah, I just wonder like what passion went into like those earlier games like Left 4 Dead or Half-Life, if they care about any of that anymore.
I got some guy that's got resist on him now. He's stronger than the average guy.
The duplicate. What kind of chaos should we multiply now?
Killed him like a barrel. Tap RB to copy carried object. Tap RB to duplicate a new version. What? I can pick up stuff and own it. What? So I can like throw the barrel and then you just tap RB and it just makes another one pop up.
Out there.
You don't even have to pick one up. It just the last thing you threw. Wait, maybe not.
RB's grenades.
Not for me right now, for whatever reason.
Did you pick up some perk or something?
I don't know, it pops up saying something on my screen, but we're talking and playing and all this crap at once.
You might have collected something.
I don't remember exactly what it said, but yeah.
Yeah, RB for me is toxic grenades.
And once I have an object, like pick up an object and then press RB and it like makes a grid around
Weather
my
report for New
object.
Providence looks nice. Hope you catch a tan.
Nope,
While you're
I
kicking
cannot do
Terra
that.
Nova's teeth in.
Look, I
know, I
got
see you doing it, I can't
plate
do
or
it.
whatever, right. So that plate and then I just press RB and it just makes another one.
Ouch.
The Harlington Cryo Shotgun. Have fun freezing targets in place.
I mean, I gotta say, for all the conversation we did about it, like, this feels like an updated version of Crackdown. Like, maybe it could have been more, but I don't think it's, like, bad. I'll probably play through this to see it to completion and check out the multiplayer.
Agent Anderson. Best
Just to
shooter
see.
I've ever seen. Any gun,
got another
any
agent.
target, any
Like,
time.
am I gonna sit and invest tens or hundreds of hours into it? Probably not. And that's where that Game Pass stuff comes in, where it's like, yeah, I don't care, because I pay for Game Pass.
Yeah, that's
know,
what I was mentioning earlier. Like,
what
I
is
wonder
it?
how the people who bought for $60 feel compared to us playing Game Pass.
$10 a month, and this is just on Netflix as far as I'm concerned.
Monkey moonshine. It's worse than booze. It's toxic fuel. And the locals are hooked on it.
I got an ice shotgun.
You should blow up every
That
tank
seems
and
cool.
kiosk you find.
Yeah, have you played enough Apex to know that like there's like different guns and armor have different perks?
No.
Like there's this
Played
legendary
since our
armor
last
that like
session.
there's this like legendary armor that like like regens all your shields when you execute someone. Or there's like a shotgun that like spawns gold with like all ammo, all
Agency techs worked
attachments.
hard to build a tool that not only gives you the lay of the
Like,
land,
just weird stuff like
but
that.
a view of the enemy's
There's
operation.
also like a self like
Everything
you know little
you need
knockdown
to
shields you
tear
can
'em
hold when you're
apart.
not downed.
Mm-hmm.
There's a gold one that revives you, like you can revive yourself.
Yeah, I think I heard of that. Here's another one of them DNA fragments or whatever. That's cool. I plan to play some more Apex soon, but
Everyone
Yeah, I'm
knows
probably gonna
agility
upload
orbs
just like
boost your
some clips
speed
of
and
it
jump.
on my channel.
But the hidden orbs
ooh,
boost
that gave
all
me a
your
lot of
skills.
stuff. A lot of random
They may
orbs.
be harder to earn, But if you want to be an all-purpose
Probably
killing
gonna
machine,
upload like a clips
they're
video
a
of it
good
with that
way to
thumbnail
get
that I
there.
made. It's like
All
different
right,
squad
and
wipes
I'm going to
and a
let
quick
you in
scope
on a
win
little
or something.
secret. There are hidden
Yep,
orbs
yep.
across the island, generated by your suit to encourage exploration.
Well, if anything,
and
we just hit
mastery
like the
of
hour
combat
mark.
landscape.
So,
Hunt them down, and each of your skills
like
will
I
get
said,
a
we try to get
big-time
together
boost.
every week, or let alone just every day and play games. But specifically, Friday evenings, try to get together and play something, whether it's a top 10 game from our Discord channels list, or something new like Crackdown that we just want to jump in and check out, play it along with you guys and see what it's like. If anything, if you would want to possibly join us in the future, whether just chat about and or play some games, we'll be dropping our links to our Discord and our other social links in the YouTube channel, our YouTube videos description. Anyways, thanks for joining, Zenforth.
Yep.
Yep, it's been fun chatting and playing. I'm gonna move on and go find something else to do probably for the rest of the evening.
Alright, see ya.
Alright, have a good night. Bye.
You too. Bye.